Hi everyone, my name is Maria and I want to welcome you to my channel. My channel is going to contain information about fitness and wellness and primarily about my journey to the Malibu half marathon in November. So, I hope you guys enjoy my stories and my journey going to the half marathon. Well, let me just kind of tell you a little bit as to why I'm trying to create this channel. And one of the reasons I wanted to create this channel is because I've noticed that there is so much information out there, but a lot of that information is, geared towards people that are avid runners that are running like some major, incredible, 5-minute miles, 6-minute miles, or, the people that are putting out the content are, in their 20s or the 30s. And so I feel that there's a lack of information out there for people my age, and I am someone that is in her 40s, and so a lot of times, and I'm a woman, as you can see, and so there's a little, there's some things that are different when it comes to training when you're a 45-year-old woman, and so I felt like it would be important for me to maybe journal this whole experience, to see if any of you out there are interested in maybe, taking some of the guidance that I'm giving. I'm definitely not a doctor, not a coach, so definitely want to do, that kind of disclaimer out there. But I am someone just like a normal person that's looking at improving, and trying different methods to do the best that I can. So, one thing I will tell you is that I am just a typical recreational jogger. So my experience has been just, grabbing the sneakers, going out the door, and just basically moving, which I think a lot of people out there, that's typically what you do. Sometimes when I look at videos, it's like these people are like talking about running sub-3 marathons and things like that I don't think the majority of the population is doing. And that's fine. I mean, I'm not trying to, put any group against the other. It's just that I think there's people out there that are slower, and just require different kind of information than maybe, or applying the information that's out there differently just because we're in a different bracket. But anyway, so what is it that I'm going to do? So in the next 4 months, I'm going to be preparing and I'm going to be training for this half marathon. I'm going to be using 2 to 3 different methods that I'm kind of creating a hybrid method. So again, I'm not a coach. Don't feel like you can or want to try any of my methods. If anything, all I want you to do is to maybe go out there and research and explore some of the things that I'm doing to figure out if they can actually work out for you. But for me, I've been reading a few books, and I have 3 methods that I'm going to be approaching for my training program. The first one has to do with this gentleman. His name is Dr. Phil Mefetone, and I've been reading, and reading some of his books. I've been watching some of the YouTube videos and reading some of the reviews in terms of his method. And his method basically is a method where you train at a low heart rate intensity level. So pretty much you should be tracking your heart rate, and not going above your aerobic threshold when doing your training runs. And so he's created this formula, which he calls the 180 formula, where you basically subtract your age from 180 to come up with kind of like the base number. Now, there are a few components that you have to either add or take out, X number of heartbeats to be able to get to the right base level for you. In my case, I am 45 years old, so my base would be 135. beats per minute, but I have to reduce 5 beats per minute because I actually suffer from allergies and I take some medication. So I've pretty much leveled out my baseline at 130. So that means that all of my training runs should be at 130 beats per minute or lower. Now, in terms of the other person that I've been researching on, his name is Matt Fitzgerald, and so he's also of the same concept that most of your training should be done at a lower intensity level. But his book is very much about 80-20, so that meaning 80% low intensity level and 20% higher intensity level. So, I like that because I think, I don't know if any of you out there have tried the low heart rate, method. But if, for example, in my case, running at 130 beats per minute, especially in the heat, that probably means that you're going to be walking. So, it could be a little frustrating, and if you research this, and you'll be running into some people, talking about some of the frustration at the early stages, because that really takes you back when you do the initial stages of the math test and the method. It's going to take you down to a fitness level where you feel that you have been completely slowed down, and there's a reason for that. So slowing down in order to make aerobic gains is the name of the game. So anyway, in terms of hibernating those methods, I'm going to be applying that 80-20 formula, but keeping at the very minimum that 130 base that I did from the 180 formula from Dr. Phil Maffetone. Now, the third method that I'm going to be kind of looking at, and again, this is kind of experimental, but I'm going to be looking at doing mileage from also from Hal Higdon. Hal Higdon, was the gentleman that has put out so many training programs that have been followed by a ton of people out there that are running their first races, and the one that I used, from the get-go. And so what I want to do is be able to kind of use the 3 concepts from Dr. Phil Maffetone, Matt Fitzgerald, and Hal Higdon to basically come up with my own training program, which I will be talking to you in the coming weeks, because it's not 100% developed. I'm going to be kind of talking to you in a weekly basis, just letting you know how I'm doing. If you're interested, for sure, drop me a comment and let me know. Again, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a coach, and so I'm not advocating for you to do anything that I'm doing. But if you do find anything that I'm doing interesting, I definitely urge you to go out there and research to see if it would be a method that would be good for you. So other than that, guys, thank you so much for hearing me out, and I will be coming at you here in the next couple of weeks to tell you more about my journey to Malibu. Thank you.